And we're joined by Kelowna City Councillor and NDP candidate in this new riding of Kelowna Centre, Loyal Wooldridge. We already did a candidate interview with you, I don't know, several months ago.
Months ago, yeah, exactly.
But I just felt we couldn't leave that up as an introduction to you as a candidate because just too much has changed. Here we are with the election now weeks away, and probably your main foe, it would have seemed, Dr. Michael Humer, representing the BC United Party, is all but out of the race, and here you are. What do you think about all the shifting sands of politics and how it affects you?
Well, the political game of checkers just seems to be changing rapidly, and a week seems to be a long time in the world of BC politics, but my commitment is clear, and that is to serve the people of Kelowna and not play games. I'm here to understand our community, come up with solutions to our biggest problems, and that has not changed. It's why I joined council in the first place and what I'm committed to.
It does seem that, I know you're someone who at one point even dabbled with the idea of running for the BC United Party. Now your opponent in this election is the Conservatives. It does seem to kind of clarify that you're up against an opponent that really is different than you in terms of your approach.
Where we sit right now, the two choices are very stark. We have one version that's the extreme right, and then where I'm falling is a centrist approach where I've always been a business person. I've dedicated my time to council for the past 2 terms, and I've done that intentionally because we have big issues in Kelowna. I wanted to understand them at a grassroots level so that I know how to work in the provincial government when I'm elected there. So I know our problems, but I also know the solutions to overcome them, and that's what I remain committed to.
We did hear you getting out of line with your own party slightly on the subject of Airbnbs. So you seem comfortable to not necessarily take every existing NDP, David Eby policy and say it's the gospel.
We're elected to represent our community, and we have to bring forward those concerns, and that's the role of an MLA, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. David Eby is very open to hearing from individual MLAs around what's working in their community and what's not, and that's what I really appreciate, and I made the choice to run with the BC NDP because of the work they've been doing and because they're open to hearing feedback. They've changed courses on things like decriminalization, for example. When you hear things aren't working, you can't be so arrogant to think that everything is perfect and every piece of legislation you craft doesn't need amendments. It takes courage to make those changes, and that's what I've seen this government do.
We have seen from time to time in recent months, opposition research, tidbits from coming from some of the BC Conservative candidates that might seem outrageous. Are we likely to see you going after your opponent for anything like in a negative way?
I think you're going to see me contrasting the choice that British Columbians have in October, which is really going to be right-wing or someone that's in the center that's here to serve community. I wouldn't say that's attacking. I would say that's bringing forward the fact of who people are and what they represent so that people know when they go to the ballot box who's going to be representing them in Kelowna.
So with about a month left to go in the campaign, what do you focus on?
I'm focused on people and bringing forward solutions that really matter to our community. That has not changed, and I'm going to continue to bring those forward over the coming weeks, working hard with my amazing team of volunteers, and just really encouraging people to do your research, understand who your candidates are, and the hard work that's gone into representing our community, because we need people in Kelowna that know Kelowna, that actually live here, and that can actually make a difference once they're elected, and that will be me when I'm the Kelowna Centre MLA.
Here's what you're up against here, though. The Okanagan is a pretty conservative place, and there's a lot of support. The polls are high for Conservatives right now, so I don't know. It's not in the bag yet, is it?
I've faced adversity my entire life, and I'm no stranger to it. I'm willing to fight and bring forward the light that this city needs to succeed.
Terrific. Thanks, Loyal Wooldridge, and thank you for watching Kelowna Now.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.